Hey, Amber Gooder to yourself fit. I have just wanted to pop in really quick for like a quick What's Up Wednesday and talk about the difference between being on a diet and your actual diet. So I think when people say that I'm going on a diet or, oh, I need to start a diet or whatever, I think there are good intentions there, like recognizing that you want to make improvements with the way that you eat. But the whole idea of going on a diet, first of all, is typically associated with negative things, right? Like when you're going on a diet, you're talking about things that you're eliminating, things that you can't have. It's like all the things oh, I need to remove this out of my diet, or I need to I can't have this, that, or the other. It's all about the things that you're not allowed to have anymore, which is already a negative connotation. And that's the second you say that you can't have something is the second that you want it more, right? So that's the first issue, is that when we go on a diet, we're already in a negative mindset, which is not the greatest way to start any health journey. The second issue that I take when people are like, I'm going on a diet is it it's got this temporary feeling to it, right? Like I'm going to start this and then I'm going to end this, and at the end of it I'm going to have the body of my dreams, and that's the end of it. And that's also not the right mindset, because once you get to the end of it, in order to maintain that perfect body of your dreams, is going off the diet really going to help that? I don't know about that. So I really encourage you not to think about putting yourself on a diet. I don't want any of my clients ever to feel like I'm putting them on a diet, right? That is not my goal at all. Instead, look at it as what your diet really, like the diet that you have is all the things that you're consuming, right? Like your diet is the things that you're eating on a regular basis. So instead of putting yourself on a diet, don't do that. Just look at the things that you're regularly consuming and figure out within that how you can make tiny adjustments so that you can point the needle better, or point the needle towards better health, right? So it's like, okay, so every morning I go to Starbucks and I get my coffee and I get my pastry. Well, how about I encourage you, if you're still going to go to Starbucks every morning, cool, just make better choices in it. Like get your coffee, and then instead of your pastry, maybe get egg bites so that you're getting protein in your breakfast instead of just doing like the processed carbs. Or every Friday we have family pizza night, and that's not something that I'm willing to get rid of. Cool. I don't want you to get rid of that either, right? You don't have to eliminate pizza in order for you to live a healthy lifestyle. So when you have pizza with your family, that's awesome. I'm just going to ask that with your pizza, you add salad to it, right? So it's just tiny adjustments within what you're already doing. So that's like, first of all, it's a more positive mindset because you're not upending your entire life and getting rid of everything that you might want to like indulge in, right? But the other thing is that it's a lot more like approachable in that sense, and that like not anything is off limits, and that I think is what leads to successful changes in your overall diet for long-term sustainable health. So don't put yourself on diets. Instead, look within what you're already doing and make subtle adjustments so that you're still eating the things that make you happy, and you're not trying to deny yourself things. That's the other thing, is like, don't put anything off limits, right? And I think it's a little bit frustrating. I know, especially for me, because I still eat desserts. I'm just pretty selective about the desserts that I eat. So it's super frustrating. People are like, maybe I'm at a birthday party and I say, no, thank you, I don't want a piece of cake. And their automatic assumption is like, oh, are you on a diet? No, actually, I'm like on a path of long-term health. I want to feel good. Like I'm on a journey of self-fulfillment, and that doesn't include random pieces of cake. Does that mean that I don't ever have dessert? Absolutely not. Right? I'm just pretty selective about it. And so I think that's the other thing about when you're trying to look about like improving your nutrition. It's not about removing everything. Okay? And that's the point that I'm trying to get across here, is that like you don't have to remove everything that you think is an indulgence to make progress towards your health goals. So just don't tell yourself you can't have this, that, or the other. Unless, of course, there are intolerances or something at play here. But I want to warn you against doing that, against cutting out entire food groups, or against cutting out entire things in your life. And here's why. Hey, our bodies are super amazing, and they're very, very efficient. So you can create intolerances within yourself on accident by cutting out things that you don't actually need to cut out. One of the biggest examples of this is dairy. Okay, now dairy has this reputation of being highly inflammatory. A lot of people say that you should cut it out and it's not natural for us to consume it. And there's a lot of things. Now, some people do have intolerances to dairy, and some people it does cause like inflammation. But if you are not one who knows that about you, and you just cut it out because the fad right now says cut out dairy, all the inflammation, blah, 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 you can create an intolerance for yourself, because here's what happens. Okay, sometimes there's, so a lot of dairy has like lactase in it. Okay, and if you are sorry, it has lactose in it, and if you're lactose intolerant, it means that your body doesn't create the enzyme lactase to help break that down. And what you can do inadvertently, if you just willy-nilly decide to cut out dairy, even if it's not a problem for you because you think you're helping your inflammation, you can create lactose intolerance within yourself, because your body will stop producing the enzyme lactase to help break it down. If your body doesn't need it, why would it produce it, right? So what it does is say, oh, this body no longer consumes lactase or lactose. And so I'm just going to shut down the lactase factory, because there's no reason for me to put energy towards that if we're never going to need lactase anymore, right? So what people have inadvertently been doing over the past decade, when dairy became all of a sudden this problem child, is they're creating lactose intolerance within themselves, because they're telling their body it doesn't need that lactase factory anymore. And then you start bringing in dairy and it starts causing problems, and you're like, I knew it. Like, well, no, actually it wasn't a problem. It is now. You created the problem within yourself, because our bodies are incredibly efficient, and if you're not going to give it something that it needs to actually process, it's not going to take the time and energy to make the things that help you process it. Right. So just be a little bit careful. Now, that's not to say that elimination diets aren't a beautiful thing. If you are one who's experiencing some inflammation or discomfort in your body, and you're trying to get down to like the root cause of what's causing that discomfort. But elimination diets only have you cut out things for small periods of time, not for long terms. And the whole point is to like basically get rid of the inflammation, start implementing things one at a time to see what is causing the disturbance. And so it's very short periods where you're eliminating things, not a very long time. So you can create your own intolerances by cutting out entire food groups for long periods of time, without any reason, except for that's like the new fad. That's how I'm going to lose the weight. And like, whoops, you just accidentally made your body more susceptible to things, and you're not actually helping or improving your health. Okay, so anyway, be careful with diets is all I'm trying to say. And in fact, in terms of mindset, I would never encourage you to go on a diet. Instead, think about what you're consuming regularly, what is your current diet, and make little adjustments within it so that you're moving more better towards health. You're not overwhelming yourself, and you're not saying you can't have anything ever again. All right, until next time, guys, eat more, eat well, eat happy. Bye.